Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Code to Winning Insights you need today to seize the world tomorrow. Today, we're on our Las Vegas, Nevada Code to Winning tour. We have an amazing and special guest for you today. She came all the way from Russia, literally, to join us in this episode today. She goes by the name of Lada Popova. I hope I didn't butcher that. Lada Popova, social media influencer from Russia, and she's going to kind of give us a bit of an introduction and a lot of insights of what we can learn about social media as well. So, especially with all the current trends in today's world. So, without further ado, our special guest, Lady Lada.
Hello,
How you
it's
doing?
really nice to meet you. Thank you.
Very good to meet you again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome
For
stuff.
sure.
Like I said, thank you very much for joining us in this
Of
episode.
course.
It's very exciting to actually have you and talk a bit more about social media, and the influence you have. I was following a bit of your content. It's hard to plug everything in ChatGPT to know what the heck you're saying. So I want to try and hope everything is at least, positive and so forth. But
Of course.
it's exciting. I told you I had a.
I love this.
So can you give us a brief introduction of who you are?
Yeah, of course. So I'm an influencer, as you said, and I help people to grow their social media and sell their services or products through their Instagram accounts or YouTube accounts, whatever they want to. And also, I make some entertainment and fun content to make people laugh, to make people smile, to make people enjoy their life. So, like, shortly, I'm that kind of person who help people and entertain them as well.
Awesome, awesome. So when did you start your journey in the social media space?
That's really great question. I think it started like 7 years ago. Right now I'm 22, so like from 15 I started to do that. I think that started like in a sad story wise because I was alcohol addicted and it's Russia, a lot of kids they're alcohol addicted in childhood. This is normal in our
But
country.
there's only two things I know about Russia: Vladimir Putin and vodka. So
So vodka was my thing. For sure, yeah. I was really alcohol addicted from 13 years to 16, I think. And as I realize and dive in my childhood right now, I understood that I really craved for attention of my parents. And I was like, oh my gosh, please, parents, look at me, notice me, or something like that, because like I was hardworking from 13 years old and I was living alone. I left my home. And then I figured out then COVID hits that right now nobody's seeing me like drinking alcohol. So I won't be able to attract those attention I was like craving for. So I decided, okay, maybe I need to switch my, vision to attract those attention that I really craved by another way, by creating content. So I decided to start my TikTok and I was filming some funny videos. Then I understood, okay, funny videos is good, but I need to make money because I need to make something for my living. And then I started to make some content about social media marketing, and it really went viral. I started to get my first clients, and then I built my company, which right now is over than 5,000 students, and we help across all the Eastern Europe, different age, different nationality people who want to sell the services and products, and yeah, stuff like that.
awesome stuff. And so this journey, it began in Russia on social media, or was it when you came to America?
No, in Russia. In Russia. In America, I'm for 3 years. But yeah, I started my journey in content creation when I was back in Russia.
Okay. So I know you and I spoke last night and today as well. I was just giving you a brief introduction of like my personal life and all that
Of
kind of
course.
stuff. And I remember I had a Zoom call with my mother-in-law and her mother, wife, and the sister. It was a Zoom call. They were in Russia, right?
Wow, okay.
So that was when like everything broke out and stuff like that. And so did that with the war and everything happening, did that affect like your reach, or was it with certain things like censored? How did that like have an impact or effect on like your social media business with
That's
everything that's
really
happening?
great question. I think I moved from Russia before the war.
Okay.
So actually, I was living in Dubai those time that war started.
Okay.
And Dubai, it's like it's like a bubble. In America, we actually know about some news, but in Dubai, it's like all the news are cancelled or the bad things are cancelled. And in Dubai, it's everything about greatness and good and all that's like, we're happy, blah, blah, blah. So that was so funny because after the war started, after 2 months, my mom called me and we were like talking about some stuff. And she was like, oh, blah, 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 war. I said, it is still going on. She said, yes. I said, like, really? I thought it ended. She said, no, of course not. So, I mean, my personal life, I didn't think it's like really affected that much. I know some my like previous friends because right now I'm not like talk to people who in Russia, not because of like political
Reasons,
things,
yeah.
but just we don't, don't do just we don't talk anymore. So I know that those people are like really into all the news and all the stuff because they're in the situation.
Okay.
But all other people who, for example, live in America, both Ukrainians and Russians, they don't like really give a damn about all this thing. I have a lot of friends from Ukraine. Some of my best friends are from Ukraine as well. So I mean, I'm pretty okay with all the situation. Of course, I want to war to end.
Yeah.
But I'm not into this, political stuff.
Does it affect, like, does information, like, does social media get censored? Like, the people have access to Instagram back and still in Russia and stuff? Like, everything is kind of still normal for residents, right?
So yeah, Instagram was banned in Russia, I think approximately 2 years ago.
Okay.
So like it's been a long time from the point that was banned. But I think it reduced the presence in Instagram, especially for 40% for like the first 2 months, and then it rise up. And right now, I think this like ban cuts like 20% of presence of Russians in Instagram. So it's not like a big deal. Of course, I lost some of my viewers, but it's not like a huge amount. So it's basically like all of those people who live in Russia still use Instagram mostly. They use other social media networks like VK, if you know that, the guy who developed and the founder of Telegram, if you know Telegram.
Yes, I know
Yeah,
Telegram.
so he's Pavel Durov, and Pavel Durov is Russian guy. He created before the Telegram. He created like a social media called VK. So it's like basically Russian social media network and space. But then he sold it to government. So right now it's like a Russian social media network inside where like all of those people like communicate. But like to be honest, still the huge amount, the majority of people use Instagram as well
Okay.
with VPN. That's it.
Just a brief history of like South Africa, my country. One of our closest allies is actually Russia. So the historical context. So we both part of BRICS. BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
Yeah.
So during apartheid, when it was segregation in like my country, Russia was actually helping funding the oppressed party or the oppressed people at that time. They were helping us with weaponry. They were helping us with like training. They were helping us with military combat. They were helping us with a lot of stuff. And so when South Africa gained independence in 1994, it's just rightfully so that we were more like loyal to those that kind of like helped us at our lowest low kind of thing. So that's why if you look at Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, it's known as BRICS right now. And so my country has always just been one of the biggest like allies and partners with Russia for a long time. So that's one thing.
That's
so
really great.
not just my own personal life,
Yeah.
everything but also just like my country as a whole. So that's one
That's
thing I wanted to
amazing.
share. So hopefully you don't go to war with America because now I'm stuck here. So so please.
For sure. I mean, I don't want that for sure.
Awesome. Now back to social media. No more politics, right? So now we got that out the way. Elephant on the room. But now, if somebody were to start social media in terms of monetization, right? Right now, my YouTube's monetized. my Spotify and my Apple Music. That's fine. However, in terms of starting, like, if they want to start like monetizing in order to try and promote their products, what's the best social media platform for people to try and use and integrate?
So if we're talking about like just monetization by a platform, I will like strongly recommend YouTube because it's like high priced. You can like easily gain views and you can like easily gain monetization. Even with entertainment content, for example, if people who are watching right now they don't come up with a topic they want to speak about, so entertainment it's like really one of the best niches they can jump into and earn pretty good money on monetization. For example, one of my best friends earn about like 15K to 20K in a month by gaining views just in entertainment content on YouTube. But if we're talking about like selling facilities like services or products, I will recommend, I think, right now Instagram because Instagram it's more about like business kind of wise of content. So it's much easier to sell something through that, especially courses and all those stuffs, because you have their reels, like a short format of YouTube as well, and you have stories where people like actually, get those close connection with you and they start to trust you. And when you get those trust, you can easily sell product or service to the person. So like all those coaches, all those like guys who have any kind of services, no matter what is it, like psychology, beauty, or whatever, I strongly recommend to go to Instagram directly and sell their services or products in there. So entertainment, I think, like first of all, like in terms of monetization, YouTube. In terms of use, of course, TikTok. But TikTok, it's not paying that much that YouTube in comparison. But yeah, services, products, Instagram for sure.
And I noticed one thing, and the reason I'm asking this, I when I spoke to one lady who does all the stuff as well, also an influencer in Utah, she loves the TikTok in terms of like the live, because Instagram didn't pay her anything close to TikTok, but obviously YouTube, it's a monetization kind of platform
For
as well.
sure.
So if I want to try and sell like products, which are the two, Instagram or TikTok would be better for that, like selling like merchandise?
Like merchandise, merchandise. That's a great question. I think Instagram because TikTok it's more about also like entertainment. So for example, those lives, what people like actually do, they, for example, make some like challenges or like quizzes with other people, like battles or something like that, and they compete for some like not stupid but like funny competition games, and other people like send them some prizes, and those prizes like influencers can exchange to money. So those algorithms work like that. And of course, there's a TikTok shop that you can also, for example, upload your merchandise. That's also a really great opportunity. But I think, okay, in terms of merchandise, I think TikTok it's also like really good option. But if we're talking about like services, of course, it's Instagram because it's trust. So I'll recommend. I mean, if you're trying to create your personal brand, I think you just need to be everywhere because like YouTube have those like long formats, so where you can like for example, record a podcast, make an interview, or make it like just a monologue where you explain something
And then
about
break
your
it down
niche.
to multiple short form
Of
content.
course, as well. And Instagram is really good to build trust because you can show your everyday life and stories, and people really watch it. So, like like for example, Grant Cardone or like Tony Robbins, they post a bunch of stories every single day, and they warming up their audience. And this is like every single day connection because if we're talking about YouTube, okay, maybe if you really love YouTube, you will watch one video in a day, uh, long format. Maybe like you will watch two videos in 1 week. That's okay. But Instagram, you watch every single day. You go there, you watch some stories of your friends, blah blah blah, and then you like get to work. So it's like every single day connection. And if your stories pop up on Instagram on everyday basis, of course you build those trust with the creator. And creator can easily sell you something that they have.
I love that so much. And speaking of that, every time I've connected with people, I've never said, "Hey, what's your TikTok?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, for sure.
Hey, what's your ex? Like, oh no, David and I broke up. No, no, no,
Of
your
course.
ex. Twitter, you know. Because IG is almost like a form of identification in a way.
Yes.
Because everyone somehow connects with like Instagram. Like, hey, listen, what's your IG? What's your handle, and so forth as well. And so, as an influencer, I would assume one of the most important things is actually trying to also be relevant in the algorithm, because you have to always continue to um, obviously produce content for your base, but also continue to build your base as well.
For sure.
So what are techniques that you've used to continue to be relevant in the algorithm?
That's a really great question. I think first of all, the most important thing is just consistency. Because I noticed that multiple times, if you, for example, upload those videos, like for example, every single day, after a while, Instagram will give you those views. Of course, if your content is not crap, but like if your content is normal, you will first of all learn from your content, and algorithms will give you those views. And if we're talking about like other hacks, what I noticed, for example, if your video go viral, and viral, it's not means like 1 million views or like 100,000 views. For example, your average views are like 2,000 or like 500, for example, 500. And then one of your all of those videos like gain, for example, like 5K. So it's 10 times more than your average. 5K, it's also big number if your average is 500. So we consider those videos or that one video as a viral one for your brand. So when you notice that one video, you need to copy those videos as much as you can. So for example, you notice that one high performer for 5K, then your average like 500. So you look at that video, you look what scenario you used, what hook you used, and what's the like the form of content you used, and you just multiply it. So that how I went viral like several times in several platforms. I just recognize the pattern. So I see what video went viral a little bit more than others, and I like make 10 more those videos like similar to, and algorithms see, okay, right now like she have or like they have this direction of the content of her like personal brand, and Instagram like understanding your like niche format and keep like giving you those views that you craving for.
Wow, I love that. Thank you so much for explaining that. And I think with how the trajectory of social media and how everything is going, I think it's only going to get bigger for content creators, because like there's a space for everyone to grow at the same time as well. Now,
For sure.
Now my next question: you're super young. I mean, you're 22 years old. You're a Russian lady. You can easily just get a normal 9 to 5 job, work your way up, and continue to push. Why are you pursuing this entrepreneurial journey?
I think right now I'm pursuing not like entrepreneurial journey. I think I'm pursuing more like like show woman journey, because my ultimate goal is to become one of the greatest show women in the world. It means like acting, singing, and making content. So I really want to make a really big impact to the world, and I just like understood that to actually do that, I need a lot of influence. So I need to like gain as much following that I can to actually like influence people. For example, like Mr. Beast, he just like made a lot of really cool videos, and right now a lot of like people all over the world like really listen to him, and his ideas is really like meaningful for other people, and they like listen to him every single day. So I understand that I need the same stuff. I just need to gain as much following that I can, and create some brands that will align with my purpose, with my content, that people can actually buy and get some useful stuff like either information or some products from my brand.
You know, I was actually on my phone right now, And I heard everything you said. I promise you I did. The reason I was on my phone, I remember I was in Salt Lake City with a bunch of my friends, and we were actually watching a Netflix series about a Russian girl who came from Russia, and well, it didn't end so well, but there's something that we acknowledged about her drive and like her persistence to try and push to be the very best version that she can. She was just like, she was also in New York. You probably know the story. What's her name?
I think I know, like the
Russian,
girl,
German. Yeah, the girl who was,
the girl who was like
she,
pretending
yes, oh,
to be like rich and famous.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, she pretended to be a trust fund baby. She pretended to be a trust fund baby, and
That's not my story.
no, no, I know, I know. No, but the reason why, so it's so funny. I'm a devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
I always like, not necessarily villains. I like a story, and of course, like hers was pretentious and fake and stuff. But I looked at the positives
Of
and the
course.
grit she had
Yes.
to convince Wall Street investors
Yes,
to
that's
invest multi-million dollars
Yes.
just off her. And like everything kept going down, but she kept pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yes.
Of course, I don't want to use that story as an
For
example, but like it's something I've noticed in like just almost like Russian culture. It's just like you want to always reach the best versions of yourself,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
it takes as well. So
For sure.
um,
It's like cold weather, you know. It's like I'm from Siberia. This is the coldest place in Russia, and like you know, when you're cold, you just want to move as quickly as you can. That's why I think.
trust me, I went to a university where it was like winter 8 months of the year, and like you get 2 weeks of summer, and then it's back to winter.
Yeah.
Again, you know? Not
Yeah.
quite as St. Petersburg, but my gosh, Utah and Idaho are so cold. But anyway, now I love this entrepreneurial journey that you're talking about, and you're helping students and focusing on uplifting and building personal brands like what you did for yourself. What do you do for students?
So I actually like find those people who want to grow their business, or they, for example, like psychologists or like beauty master, and they want to sell their services. Right now they have a couple of clients, and it's like just a word of mouth, but it's uncontrollable. So they cannot control their like you know leads flow, and they want to gain those leads. They don't have money to actually like you know every single day invest in marketing, but they have those like you know hunger and thrive, and they can create content and gain those leads and clients like just without any money. They can just like do content and get those clients. And that's why they came to me, they buy my course or program or just listen to my free stuff and start to do that. And that's amazing.
I love that so much. I love that so much. And so, do you have different courses for different stuff, or do you have one straight course?
For sure, yeah. I mean, I have like you know the main course, the big one. Right now we're launching as well. This that will be our last launch ever in Russia, because I'm like completely switching the market to entertainment content, and I decided like you know to burn the boats and like end up all my businesses that I have before to make you know entertainment content for life and make it like the main thing of myself, because I was trying to you know to do both things for half a year, and I end up understanding that I cannot do both like really high quality, and I understood that my ultimate goal is different and move. So yeah, back to course. I have the main one, and I have like several programs for those who like uh, on the next stage, you know, than the main course, and I have some like really cheap programs for like $5 or $10 just for those people who want to start with something, and they do that. So I have like multiple programs and courses that people can like buy or watch for free to actually like you know do what they want to do to sell their products and services.
Love that, love that. And I noticed a lot of your content, speaking of that, with the courses, a lot of your content is Russian, and I think right now you have both Russian and American market? How are you transitioning to the American market?
So actually, I decided just to leave my main account.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, I was thinking about like, oh, maybe I should translate it into English and that's it. But I understood the real truth. Of course, I have a lot of English speakers in my Russian account right now. A lot of people understand English as well, but the algorithms don't. So I understood that it's much easier to just create one more account and start from scratch in there and focus on their entertainment content, and that's it. So I already did that, and I gained in 1 month 10K followers
Wow.
in Instagram and YouTube as well. 10K there and 10K there. So I'm just keep pushing it, and yeah.
You know what's crazy? I don't. I used to like my Instagram. I love my Instagram. It's fine. But my gosh, like my YouTube is like my baby. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like it's everything. Like and the one thing I've noticed, it's been the hardest in terms of growing. But like when you start seeing the exact same 40 to 100 people on the same comment section each week that are pushing it out there. Whereas my Instagram, yeah, I just put my reels together. My editor cuts a few things up, throw it out there. But my YouTube, it's my baby because it actually pays me. You know what I'm saying? It actually pays me. So when I start, like my YouTube is one thing I've really focused a lot on. Okay, what advice would you give me to try and besides Google Ads and SEOs and other stuff? What are the best ways to try and continue to build like my personal YouTube? I think I have like what 28 or 29 on Instagram. K, it doesn't pay me. My
Yeah.
YouTube's got like 20,000 and it pays me like relatively well per month as well.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give me to try and continue to build my YouTube?
I think in terms of YouTube, you need to start like with really hot topics. So, for example, in our conversation, you can pick the theme like "she were drug and alcohol addicted" in the very beginning, and that will be really good. And that will be really good because like people don't interested in about like success stories. I talk about a lot of today in YouTube, and like there was like really useful conversation, but they don't give a damn. They were really interested in, oh my gosh, she was drug addicted and alcohol addicted. I really want to watch it. So like you should start with all those things, and your videos will probably go much more viral. This is the first thing, and yeah, I think this is the main stuff to actually like.
So you think I
grab
should catfish
attention.
my viewers?
For sure. I mean, you need to grab attention.
So I should swindle my viewers?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. No, I like it. It's true. I use like vidIQ. I use a lot of platforms that kind of like get good form of captions to try and invigorate it. Because when I get like one reel or YouTube short that goes off, people often go click on it and watch the actual full podcast.
For sure, yeah. Like short format videos are like really good, and actually, what you can do as well, you can not only like cut those like short format videos from your long form, but you actually can film some short form videos like from scratch. Just for example, you have like the separate shooting set for just short form videos, because sometimes from podcasts or interviews to make like really good short video, it's like it's hard. It's hard. But if we're talking about like really good short video, it's better to to write a hook like separately to understand what right now audience really craving for. For example, maybe motivation or entrepreneurial thing or business thing, whatever you want to speak about. So just create some short format like videos separately and start to upload it, because you know that short format videos like they can gain much more views than long format videos, much easier and much quicker. Of course, it pays you less, but those videos can actually grow your channel like really fast, and all these followers will watch your long format video that bring you a lot of money.
Love that, love that. Last two questions right now. So the second last one right now. What is the vast differences between the market in Russia and the market in America?
That's a great question. I think in Russia it's much harder to sell something because people don't really have opportunity and a lot of like money to actually invest in their education or all of those things, and they like they're really thinking about, oh my gosh, should I do this or should I don't do this, and it's like hard question for them. So warming up strategy in Russia, it's really tough, and I know how to do that. So like when I switch it right now to English speaking market, I understand, oh my god, I have those skills that like any Americans don't have, just because Americans buy much easier than Russian, and I understand how to sell Russian guys, so I easily can sell anything to American, and that's like a really good like difference for myself. But if we're talking about like um, Russian market and American market, I think like Russian just much more straightforward. So Americans try to cut the angles, but Russian just like it is what it is.
I love you, I don't love you, I hate you, I hate you.
Yeah, something like that. They like crazy. For example, like Grant Cardone, he's like really controversial personality, and America recognized him like this. But in Russia, we have bunch of Grant Cardones, and even worse. I mean, worse in their like phrases and in their statements. Because I love Grant Cardone, but like if we're talking about Russian guys, they're like much more straightforward, and it's like normal thing for
Love
us.
that, love that. One last question right now. So the code to winning, insights you need today to seize the world tomorrow. The question I ask all my guests: what is your definition of winning?
What is my definition of winning? Oh my gosh, I love this question. Uh, I think it is when you have in your mind some something like really crazy goal that you like think, oh my god, like how can I do that? No matter what is that for you, for me, like all the people have those like goals or like this idea that, oh my gosh, how can I do that? I really want it, but I don't know how to do that. And when this person actually achieved that, I call this win.
Love that so much. If you could let our viewers know where they could get a hold of you, your social media, your handles, and like your courses, just give a brief like outro of
Yeah.
like who you are as well.
So if we're talking about my English speaking page, because we're in an English speaking podcast, so my English speaking page is the Lady Pop. It's TheLadyPopp. But if we're talking about my Russian speaking page, where there's all of my courses, I don't know. There's Lada Popova, LADAPOVOVA.
Awesome stuff. The coach winning insights you need today to seize the world tomorrow. Lada Popova, great honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was amazing.